Hello friends, welcome to this week's card class. This week I wanted to make some cards using some new Lawn Fawn goodies. They have come out with some really fun painting themed die cuts and stuff recently. So I wanted to make some new cards, kind of showcasing some of those things because they are so cute. Okay, so the first card we're going to start with is going to be this guy. I really loved this cute little bear. This is actually not new. This is from, oh gosh, I think it's Den Sweet Den is the name of the stamp set. This was a Lawn Fawn one, and I just love this little bear because he looks like he's reaching up to paint something. So we're going to use that little guy. And then also in your little bag, you're going to see this happy birthday. This is something that we created, and what we did is we used blending brushes, and I used 3 colors. I used Squeeze Lemonade, Peacock Feathers, and Wilted Violet, and we blended it on a piece of paper and then cut out the sentiment happy birthday. This allowed it so that you got that really beautiful ombre effect, but also it could allow us so that we can add in our little paintbrush little guy and kind of like the bear is painting the happy birthday, which I thought was kind of cute. Also, you're going to see in your kit this little baggie, and the little baggie is going to have all these little tiny bits in it that we're going to be using for our cards today. So in the little baggie here, in the little baggie here, you're going to look for your 2 little light colored paintbrushes, because there's light colored ones and there's dark colored ones. We're going to want the light colored ones for this card. And then also you're going to see these tiny little paintbrush, they look like little teardrops. And so we're looking for 2 that maybe would fit the kind of color palette where the paintbrush is going to be, where the bear's going to be painting on the sentiment. And I'll explain that more in just a moment. And then also in your little baggie here, you're going to find the little water cup, as well as this little vellum water cup that's going to be paired with it, okay? All right, all the little other bits and pieces put back in the little baggie, and we're going to use those for the next cards. All right, we'll just tuck those little guys in there. Okay. All right, wonderful. All right, let's go ahead and get started here. So you have this little polka dot piece here, and so what we're going to do here is you have these 2 pieces of paper. One of them is going to go on the inside of your card. The other one is going to go on the front of the card. So first thing we're going to do here is we're going to put a little strip of tape down, and I would say it's probably going to be about 1/2 inch from the top, and then we're going to lay on our polka dot paper. It's going to go right up to the edge of that white piece of paper, and there's going to be about 1/4 of an inch at the very top of the cardstock there, okay? It's going to be kind of exposed at the top. Then we're going to flip this over, take our scissors, and we're just going to trim that down to size. And then along the bottom here, again, another line of double-sided tape about 1/2 inch up. And we're going to stick this on. Again, it's going to be flush to the edge, but there's going to be about 1/4 of an inch exposed at the top there, or at the bottom, kind of depending how you're looking at the card. Flip that over, and then trim that off. Okay, so now you have polka dot on the top and bottom of your little card bit. All right. Now we're going to take our inside piece, and we're just going to go ahead and we're going to stick that on the front of the card here, or on the inside of the card rather. So we're going to go ahead and put down double-sided tape on all 4 sides. I guess I could have put that on the white piece itself, but I'm putting it on the inside of the card. And we're going to have 1/8 of an inch on all 4 sides there, all right, of the blue. Okay, for the inside. All right, so on the front of the card, what we're going to do here for on the back side of the polka dot paper, we're going to flip this over, and we're going to put double-sided tape right on the back side of where that polka dot is. Now we're going to take our yellow ribbon here, our stitched yellow ribbon. We're going to find the middle. We're going to lay that on the middle of the card right there. So we have about an even amount of the yellow on either side. And again, it's about 1/4 of an inch from the top of that card piece there. We're going to bring that here to the front, and we're going to tie a bow. Now, if you are already like, ooh, I am not going to be able to tie a bow with this small amount, it is going to be a tight fit. I have an idea for you. You can pull this off, find the halfway mark, and you can actually cut it in half. Then you're going to stick 1 piece on one side, again about 1/4 of an inch down from the top, okay? And then 1 piece on the other side, again about 1/4 of an inch down from the top, okay? This extends the length of your ribbon for the front of the card, allowing you more ribbon to actually tie your bow with, because you're not actually seeing the back side of this card, so there's no point in having your extra ribbon back there. So I'm going to put down double-sided tape along the top and on the sides now. Whoops, and also along the bottom. I picked up my ribbon there. There we are. All right, along the bottom there. Perfect. Along the side here. All right, so it's on all four sides. Now we're going to mount that onto the front of the card, again with these ribbons kind of flowing for just a moment. And we're gonna have the same amount of space, about 1/8 of an inch on all four sides. Okay, now we're gonna tie our bow. And you should have at least a little bit more to work with here. We're gonna tie this, and we're just gonna tie our little bow down. Sometimes I will hold the middle knot and then kind of pull the little tails there. That way I can really, you know, make my little tails of my bow exactly the size I'd like. Okay. And you can center it, or you can kind of push it, you know, to the left or right, kind of depending what you think looks best on your card. And then I'm going to trim my little tails so they're a little bit more of a diagonal. All right, perfect. Okay, so now we're going to lay down our happy birthday. So I recommend for you, when you're laying this down, that you actually kind of arrange them so that you're kind of thinking about where your sentiment is going to sit here. Now, if you put it up towards the top and you have your happy birthday, where the little bear is going to be, he's not going to be able to reach the bee to paint. So you'll kind of want to think about where that's going to go. So I kind of like that kind of a little bit, maybe down, maybe in the middle, maybe just a touch below the middle of the card. That way it kind of is balanced nicely. So just think about where you're going to put those down. I'm going to go ahead, once I've kind of laid that down, I'm going to just put my fine line glue on the back side of the word happy and lay that in place there. And then I'm going to do birthday slightly down onto the left side a little bit. So I've kind of balanced that, so we have the happy slightly to the right, and we have the word birthday, which is kind of down and slightly to the left. Okay, whoops. All right, looking cute. I'm happy with that. Okay, so now we're gonna fussy cut our little bear. So when you're fussy cutting your little bear, I like to go on the outside of the black line versus trying to get doing like a little halo around it. Sometimes people like to cut out like a little halo, which is, if you wanted to do that, you could do like a 1/16 inch little halo around it. For this little bear, I really like having him kind of cut out completely. So I'm just following just around the outside of that black line here with my fine line scissors. All right, and we'll just lay that in place there. Perfect. All right, okay, so now you have your little bear, so cute. So on the back side of his little paw here, I'm gonna put a little bit of glue, and then that way we can have a little paintbrush. I'm just gonna kind of put the little paintbrush up a little higher than I might normally. That way I have so I'm probably gonna do this kind of a thing, right, where he's kind of reaching across like that. I'm gonna kind of line this up and make sure that he can stand on the bottom of this little polka dot paper and reach up to be painting the word birthday. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. And now I'm gonna glue on one of the little bristles. Again, I wanna kind of find the little paintbrush that kind of matches the color that he's painting on the word birthday. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and put down the little bristle there. And now we're going to glue on the bear and his little paintbrush. So cute. All right, and we're gonna stick those down here at the bottom. And there we are. Just stick him right there in place. So adorable. Oh my gosh, I just love it so much. So cute, so cute. And then I'm gonna take my little water cup here. Now, if you look at your water cup, you can actually see there's a little split right there in the top of the water cup container. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put glue only on the very top, only on the top, okay? Because the thing is that we're gonna be gluing vellum, and you can always see the glue when you glue on the vellum. So now we're gonna press this in place, and we're gonna line up the little split there with on the split from the vellum, line that up in the same little split area of the water cut there, okay? All right, so there we have that, see that? Okay, so now we're gonna take the other bristle, and we are going to adhere it to the little paintbrush, and we're just gonna glue that in place there. And then I'm going to take this little guy, and I'm just going to kind of tuck it into the little vellum there, between the vellum and the little paint cup itself. And it should just slide right in. There we are. Perfect, just like that. I don't know if you guys can actually see that, but isn't that cute? And you can kind of move it around a little bit. If you're happy with the tightness of that and you think it'll stay in place, great. If you feel like it might just fall out over time, then you can just lift this up, put a tiny little bit of glue on the underside of that little bristle, and then you're just gonna lay that in place. Again, we are not really gluing down the vellum anywhere except for on the top of that little jar, okay? Because again, you'll be able to see the glue through the vellum. Okay, so once you have that down, Then we're just going to take our little water cup and you can glue that right down on the front on the right hand side. If you want to add something into the inside, you can also put the little paint cup on the inside, and that would also be very adorable. Oh, what do I want to do here? Do I want it on the inside or the outside? I think I'm going to put this guy on the inside because I think that's kind of cute and kind of ties it in. But you can do whatever you'd like. Okay. All right, we do have a little bit of this polka dot paper left over, and so if you wanted to kind of tie that in from the front, you can also put that on the inside of the card, or you don't have to use it at all if you don't want to. I'm realizing here that this piece is just a little bit wider than my inside white piece here, so I'm going to trim off just 1/8 of an inch and hope I don't trim off too much. Oh, that's a perfect amount. I'm going to put double-sided tape on the back side of that and put that at the top of the card. And there we have card number 1. Isn't that so cute? Oh my gosh, I just love it so much. All right, on to the next card.